My friends, these are dire times that we are living through. At the beginning of this year, 1933, 1 in 4 Americans found himself without work. These past 3 years have seen the beginnings of a Great Depression that has swept across our nation. In these next few minutes, I would like to talk to you about this depression and tell you what your government is doing to bring an end to it. In 1929, when the stock market crashed, it was the first sign of the weak economic and financial fabric of our country. People began to lose confidence in our financial system. Then, in 1930, a wave of bank failures began to spread. Because of the undermined confidence of the general population, people rushed to withdraw their savings from the banks. Now, it is important to understand that when you deposit your savings in a bank, they do not keep that money in a safety deposit box. Instead, they invest that money and put it to work to keep the machine of our economy running. The bank keeps comparatively little physical currency on hand for withdrawals. So when a rush of people come to withdraw their money all at once, the bank is forced to sell its assets for less than their worth in order to acquire the currency it needs. As a result, credit freezes up. Banks aren't able to issue loans to companies and factories that need them. These businesses are then forced to cut costs, which most of the time means laying off workers. Because of this, fewer consumers are able to purchase the product from these businesses, and eventually the whole economy gets caught in an inflationary cycle, a fact which many of you are unfortunately aware of, because our country is currently experiencing this same cycle. However, it is not just unemployment that plagues our nation. Our Western farmers have been facing a crisis of their own. During the First World War, they had to expand the size of their harvest in order to feed the troops overseas. For many of them, this meant mechanizing their operations, and they went into debt doing so. After the war ended, a combination of surplus crop harvests and low prices caused many families' farms to be foreclosed upon. To make matters worse, regions in the West are currently experiencing severe drought. Many families are being forced to leave their farms in search of work and to escape the unrelenting clouds of dust. Everywhere we look, it seems we see only hardship, and if nothing is done to stop it, these hard times will persist. This is why I propose to you a new deal. In my first 100 days, I will do everything I can to fix the problems ailing our nation and its people. The first thing I hope to do is to hold a bank holiday, during which every bank in the country will be closed until it is determined to be sound enough to reopen. I will also urge Congress to pass a law allowing the Federal Reserve to issue additional currency to the banks, so that they may carry out their duties. I will also work to pass laws allowing the federal government to provide work for the unemployed and provide financial assistance to those who cannot find work. In addition, I hope to establish a program to provide security for the disabled and the elderly who are unable to work. Finally, I hope to increase spending on government projects in order to provide more jobs and increase the quality of living in certain areas. To some, these plans may seem to be granting the federal government too much power. However, these measures are necessary to ensure our economic safety. Under the administration of President Hoover, no actions were taken to alleviate the hardships being faced by the populace, and we suffered because of it. The only way to fix our current predicament is for the government to bring money back to you, the people. I believe that these are the first steps to rebuilding the hope in our nation. A hope that we desperately need. But however hopeless you may feel, remember, it is not your fault. Our current situation is the result of small flaws that have accumulated for years. Flaws that have been overlooked until now, and it is our job to correct them. I have faith that you, the hard-working men and women of America, have what it takes to make it through these times and come out better off than you were before. So long as we remain united in our efforts, I know that we can make it through this depression and make this nation a better place for our children and our children's children. Thank you for taking this time tonight to sit down and hear my message.